Hello, I'm Sebastian. Welcome to Nine Nar Trees podcast. Today, I will summarize and review the book, How Heaven Invades Your Finances. Build the Foundation for Supernatural Finances by Jim Baker presents a charismatic Christian approach to money that blends practical stewardship with expectations of divine provision. Positioned within the broader prosperity and faith finance tradition, the book encourages readers to view finances as an arena for spiritual growth, obedience, and purpose rather than fear or scarcity. Baker emphasizes foundations, beliefs about God, identity, generosity, and responsibility that shape everyday choices such as budgeting, giving, saving, and spending. Rather than treating wealth as an end in itself, the book frames resources as tools for kingdom impact, family stability, and personal calling. Readers can expect motivation to pursue integrity, resist destructive money patterns, and develop habits aligned with biblical principles. The overall tone is invitational and faith-forward, aiming to help believers replace anxiety with trust and confusion with a clear framework for managing money while praying for increase and open doors. I will give you key takeaways from this book. Firstly, a faith-based mindset for money and provision. A central theme is the idea that financial outcomes are strongly influenced by a person's underlying beliefs about God and provision. The book encourages readers to confront scarcity thinking, fear of lack, and the assumption that finances are purely controlled by circumstances. In this framework, money management begins with renewing the mind, defining what it means to trust God, recognizing personal value, and expecting wisdom and opportunities as part of spiritual life. This does not remove the need for work or planning, but it reorders priorities so that anxiety does not drive decisions. The author's emphasis fits a charismatic worldview where prayer, obedience, and spiritual alignment can affect practical realities such as income, debt reduction, and open doors. Readers are guided to evaluate what they believe about blessing, whether they feel guilty about having resources, and how those beliefs shape daily habits. The topic also highlights the importance of gratitude and testimony as reinforcement mechanisms, noticing progress, celebrating small wins, and treating provision as relational rather than merely transactional. The takeaway is a mindset shift that supports consistent action, clearer goals, and greater resilience when finances feel uncertain. Secondly, building a strong financial foundation through stewardship, the book underscores stewardship as the foundation for any claim of supernatural finances. Stewardship here means managing what you already have with integrity, structure, and accountability. That includes knowing where money goes, creating simple plans, and making decisions that reflect long-term health rather than short-term impulses. This topic typically covers core practices such as tracking spending, setting priorities, and separating needs from wants. In a faith-based context, stewardship is not framed as restriction but as freedom. Clarity reduces stress, and discipline increases options. The author's approach aligns with the idea that responsibility and blessing are connected, meaning that faithful management of small amounts prepares a person for greater responsibility. Readers are encouraged to view their finances as a system, income, obligations, savings, giving, and future goals working together. The message is that spiritual language cannot substitute for wise behavior, and that order creates space for generosity and growth. Whether a reader is starting from debt, irregular income, or poor habits, the emphasis on foundations invites them to start with what is controllable and measurable, then build consistency over time. Thirdly, generosity, giving, and the purpose of resources. Another major topic is generosity as both a spiritual practice and a financial principle. The book presents giving as a way to align the heart with God's purposes, loosen the grip of materialism, and participate in a larger mission beyond personal comfort. In the charismatic and prosperity-adjacent tradition, generosity is often connected to expectation of increase, but the deeper argument is about purpose. Money is not only for consumption, it is also for impact. This theme challenges readers to examine motives, asking whether they are seeking resources only for status or security, or to serve family, community, and calling. Generosity can be expressed through consistent giving, spontaneous help, hospitality, and supporting ministry or charitable work. The emphasis also includes character formation, giving trains trust, builds compassion, and counters fear-driven hoarding. For readers worried that giving will worsen their situation, the book's perspective encourages measured faith and planning so that generosity is sustainable rather than reckless. The outcome of this topic is a reframing of finances from private ownership to entrusted stewardship, with giving positioned as an essential component of a healthy money life. Fourthly, breaking limiting patterns, debt, mismanagement, and financial bondage. The book addresses the reality that many people feel trapped by debt, inconsistent habits, and emotional spending. This topic focuses on recognizing patterns that keep finances stuck and replacing them with practices that produce freedom. In a spiritually oriented framework, Bondage can include both practical and internal factors, poor choices, lack of knowledge, family models, and also fear, shame, and discouragement. Readers are encouraged to name the problem clearly because denial prolongs pain. A common emphasis in this kind of teaching is that freedom involves repentance and responsibility, meaning a willingness to change behaviors, seek counsel, and set boundaries. The book's approach would resonate with readers who want not only a plan but also a sense of hope that change is possible. The practical side includes reducing unnecessary expenses, prioritizing debt payoff, and avoiding new obligations that recreate the cycle. The spiritual side emphasizes perseverance, prayer, and accountability within a faith community. By treating debt and disorder as solvable rather than permanent, the topic aims to move readers toward a disciplined lifestyle where financial pressure no longer dictates decisions and where progress becomes visible through consistent steps. Lastly, expecting increase. While practicing wisdom and integrity, a distinctive feature of the book is the combination of expectation for divine increase with a call to wisdom and integrity. The author frames supernatural finances not as a lottery mentality, but as an overflow that can come through favor, creativity, opportunities, and wise decisions. This topic explores how readers can position themselves for growth by aligning values, work ethic, and relationships with trustworthy conduct. Integrity includes honest dealings, clear commitments, and avoiding manipulation or shortcuts that promise quick gains. Wisdom includes learning, seeking mentorship, improving skills, and making thoughtful choices about employment, business, and spending. In this view, prayer and action go together. Believers ask for provision and also take steps that create capacity to manage it. The message helps balance two extremes: cynical self-reliance that rejects faith and passive spirituality that avoids planning. Readers are invited to set goals that match their calling, prepare for opportunity, and remain generous and humble as resources grow. The result is a framework where increase is welcomed, but character and stewardship remain the gatekeepers that ensure growth becomes a blessing rather than a burden. In conclusion, this book is best suited for Christians who want their financial life to reflect their faith, especially readers drawn to charismatic teaching about provision, blessing, and practical obedience. It can also help church leaders, small group members, and families who need a shared vocabulary for discussing money without shame or constant anxiety. The primary benefit is a reframing of finances from stress management to purpose-driven stewardship. By emphasizing mindset, integrity, generosity, and consistent habits, the book can encourage readers to build stability while nurturing hope. Even if a reader is cautious about prosperity language, the focus on foundations can still be useful as a motivational structure for budgeting, debt reduction, and disciplined spending. Compared to many general personal finance books, this one offers a distinctly spiritual lens that connects everyday choices to identity, trust, and mission. And compared to purely inspirational faith resources, it pushes readers toward responsibility and measurable steps rather than vague optimism. For readers who want both encouragement and a framework for financial change, it is worth buying as a faith-aligned guide to building healthier habits and a more intentional relationship with money. If you would like to support Jim Baker, you can buy the book through the Amazon link I've provided in the podcast description. After reading the book, please let me know what you think and share your thoughts. See you around.